Hi, my dear friends, and welcome to the Evangelist Nick Garrett channel. We're preparing to edit and release part 19 of the New Christian History of the Church on the Council of Ephesus. The Council of Ephesus took place in the year 431 AD in Ephesus, or modern-day Turkey. It's the third of what are considered major ecumenical councils by us today. The first being the Council of Nicaea in 325 AD, followed by the First Council in Constantinople in 380 and 81. There were many other councils, though, and lesser councils called synods. However, by the 420s AD, the Christian church had undoubtedly adopted what had been put forward at Nicaea. They reaffirmed it at the First Council of Constantinople. And when you hear what the major issue was at the Council of Ephesus, it should make sense to us because we can see a logical progression where we'd end up at this question. The main topic at the Council of Ephesus was the Blessed Mother, the Virgin Mary. Creeds from the very earliest days that appear at least 5 times in the New Testament have as part of what we call Christology, the virgin birth. Jesus came to earth, born of a virgin, taught his ministry, did miracles, was tortured, killed, died, crucified under Pontius Pilate, rose again on the third day. He will come again in glory to judge the living and the dead. That's kind of the premise there. But the virgin birth. Well, before the Council of Ephesus had even come, there were already disputes about the virginity of the Blessed Mother. And you have to understand it was part of a larger issue in the early church that went on for centuries. There was a dichotomy between, is it better to remain chaste and be a virgin, or to marry and have a family? Well, we see qualities of both in the scripture. Particularly during New Testament times, you have a late-age Roman Republic that definitely has decadence as part of its culture. You have pagan rituals, much like those of Baal in the Canaanite history of the Old Testament, where human sacrifices were made. Temple prostitutes were part of it. We learn in the notes and excursus of the councils, the Synod of Laodicea, between 330 and 350, where we see this dichotomy between the purity of a virgin and the sanctity of marriage playing out. And should clergy be married or should they be chaste? In fact, in descriptions about what a church service looked like during that time, we're told that virgins held a high place of order in the Mass itself. They were seated separately away from other groups, and they were held with very high regard. Well, to us today, that would simply mean young, available, married-age women who had not yet chosen a partner, and they were held in very high esteem. So at the Council of Ephesus, much like was revealed to us in the writings of the Council of Constantinople in 380, lots of it comes down to the differences in the way language was spoken in the East versus the West. The West is collapsed, the East is rising in power, and the question becomes this. Well, is Mary the mother of God, or is she the mother of Jesus? Our natural impulse might be to say, well, she's Christotokos, the Christ bearer. Come on, of course, right? But remember, Jesus' divinity is affirmed at the First Council of Nicaea and then again at the First Council of Constantinople. So isn't she Theotokos, the God-bearer, the mother of God? Up to this time, writings on the perpetual virginity, meaning even beyond Jesus, she was ever virgin. This argument had already come up. Jerome had argued it in his writings in the 380s, 90s, and early 400s against the philosophers of the time. And I have to be honest, it's not a very good argument given what we know today about Scripture, given that we know the Bible flat out says that Jesus had brothers and sisters. In the Middle Ages, the what would become Roman Catholicism got around this by suggesting a couple things. If you read the document of the epistle of Joseph the carpenter, that Joseph had been married before and had children from another wife, and now he was going to marry Mary. That's one way they got around it. Or you'll see it said, oh, they were the cousins of Jesus. But no, the Bible makes it clear that Jesus had brothers and sisters in many places. So this is a problem for perpetual virginity. And we see the weakness in the argument, even in the sublime writings of Jerome. I don't say this to mean any offense to my Catholic brothers and sisters, my Catholic friends. Well, we can't look at it like that. We have to try to understand the big picture here and why these things might have come about. So up to 431, when the Council of Ephesus happens, we have a belief in Christology of the divine birth by virgin. That is a tenet of the Christian faith. Now we have the perpetual virginity of the mother coming. Now we have, what is she called? What is her title? Is she Theotokos or Christotokos? Well, Ephesus at the end, they'd end up agreeing that Mary is Theotokos, the mother of God. And we might say, well, wait a second, how do they justify that? But you have to remember, they didn't have a choice. By this time, we often look back on history anachronistically and think they knew something they didn't know. But our records have proven by the 430s, they had in fact adopted by conscience what had happened at the First Council of Nicaea and affirmed it at Constantinople. Jesus Christ is homoousios, of the same substance as the Father. Well, if that's the case, Jesus is God. If Jesus is God, Mary is the mother of God. This is the nuts and bolts of the Council of Ephesus, the third ecumenical council of the church that is allegedly universally agreed upon by all denominations, at least up through the 1800s. I think things fall apart a bit there, but in the video, you're going to see this explained in detail with the primary sources, and you're also going to see the story of the man named Nestorius, who was essentially tried for heresy, and how his dynamic and what his teachings were played into all this. So I hope you're looking forward to the video. I am enjoying making it. And I look forward to sharing it with you. If you want to support the channel, please do. All the information's in the video description. God bless you, and may your work today bear fruit. Thanks.